Hi guys, what's
Hey
up?
guys, welcome back to my channel.
Today we're gonna be on the topic of how we ended up getting our house.
Yep, so we got this idea from somebody and I thought it would be nice if we both shared about it. How we bought our house and how we knew it was the right time to buy and how we knew it was the right house. So please subscribe, like this video, and let's start. We had a 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom condo, and since we had 2 kids, we had Austin, then we had Isla, and then we got our dog. And as soon as we got our dog, we knew as soon as we had 2 kids, we wanted to buy a house right away. But as soon as we got the dog, it just got even like more tighter, and we had to take the dog out, and we didn't want to keep the dog inside the whole time. So I feel like
it just started getting hectic.
I feel like having when we got Nala, that's what motivated us to start the house search even faster. And then I feel like the market wasn't too crazy when we were looking, because I feel like there was houses that were like really high in price, and there was houses that were like,
because when we bought our house value still grew by quite a bit.
well, let's just say the price of the house.
Yeah.
So the total price of the house was how much?
$575.
And then it dropped, right?
It went up first. So
Oh, that's right. It went up and then it dropped.
It went up to like last I checked it was like I think it was like 610, and then it dropped down again.
So when we started looking for our house, we looked at a total of like
I think it was
five
like
houses. Yeah, 5 houses.
But
And the crazy thing is that when we started our house search, Arden was doing long haul like all the time. And so I had to go like to, I think 2 of the house searches by myself without him, and I had to like FaceTime him, and that was really hard because like he wasn't there physically with me. And so my sister actually was our realtor, which was nice. So she kind of started working with us, and she had time to like finish working with us before they moved away, because they were moving to Missouri. So like it was kind of nice. So when we started looking, we had like some kind of we had like a checklist of how like what we wanted in our house. So what were some things that we wanted?
definitely an open floor plan.
Open floor plan. Trailer parking. We needed to make sure we had
And
trailer
then
parking.
We definitely wanted some more property and out of HOA. That way we can do
Oh,
whatever we
yes.
want.
Yes. We didn't want to live in a community neighborhood because they have so much rules and like you said, no HOA.
Yeah.
And we wanted a lot more parking. In our condo, when you come out of the house or the condo, like we had the road really close, and so whenever I would like leave the house with the kids, like the kids would try to, well, not the kids, it was mainly Austin because Isla wasn't walking yet. Isla was trying to run like to the road, not Isla. Austin was trying to run to the road a lot, and it was hard because I was trying to put like Isla in, and I had to run to catch Austin, and it was really dangerous. So we wanted to get a house where it was further away from the road, and it was trailer parking, and we wanted a lot more parking than we had, because at the condo we only had 2 parking lots for us, and that was not enough. So even to invite people over, we couldn't even invite like our family most of the time, because his family is really big, and if we could, it's just like, one family. And so we wanted a large property. We wanted at least 4 bedrooms in our house, because we wanted the kids to have their own rooms, and then we wanted you to have an office.
Open floor plan, but we didn't really get it as much. But like we knew if we were gonna remodel, we can make it more of an open floor plan. So that's probably gonna be sometime in the near future when the kids grow up.
I feel like when we started looking, we looked at a total of 5 houses.
Yeah.
5 houses before we stopped at this house. What's funny is we looked at like the first 2 houses, and then we were on Redfin, and we saw this house, and we had just finished looking at a house, and we were heading home, and we saw this house, and I clicked on this house, and I showed Artem, and Artem was like, I don't know if I like it, like, I don't know, just like, I don't know, we didn't like, from the photos, it wasn't bad, but for some reason, like, he didn't really like it, I don't know. Anyways, and so I'm like, okay, fine. We don't have to go look at it because there was an open house that day. Yes, there was an open house that day, and I'm like, actually, whatever. Like, we won't go look at it, whatever. Like, we can, we can always keep looking at different houses. And so we looked at a few more houses after that, and so we had to like kind of speed up the process because my sister was moving away. And so like if she moved away, then we have to get a different realtor, and it was just too much work. And so
well, actually, she did move away. The person that gave us the keys was a different realtor already.
Yes. Okay, so we did switch realtors. That's right.
Well, we didn't fully switch. Liana still did like everything, but already just to give us the keys, pretty much the other realtor did.
That's right. So we ended up looking at a few more houses because we need to speed up the process. And then at the end, we're like, okay, so this house is our last stop before we kind of like stop looking for a house. And that week, when we went to go look at the house, that week Arden was gone. He was working he was working long haul. And my sister's like, oh, I'm free. I can go show you the house today. So it was just me going to look at this house. And so I'm like, well, if I really like the house, we were talking, I'm like, if I really like the house, like, what are we going to do? And he's like, I'm going to take your word for it. That's what he told me. And so I'm like, okay.
I gave all my trust to you.
It was literally...
buy the house.
It was literally up to me to buy this house. So we get to the house. We start looking around. My sister's like, oh, it's like really nice. Like my sister, she's like, out of all the houses we looked at, that she showed us, she loved this house the most.
What about you?
I loved it the most too.
Yeah.
So I get on FaceTime. I'm showing Artem like the house, and he's loving it. And there's like poor connection, so I can't really fully
Well, the one thing I really liked about it was the property, but on camera it was hard to tell how slanted it was.
Yeah.
It does have a little slant in the back, which I'm not too worried about. Which I think I'll just build a small retaining wall, and it'll be perfect, just straight the way I want it.
Yeah, there's like a slope. It's not too big, but there is a little bit of a slope. And so, like, since there was poor connection, he couldn't really see, like, the details, but he could see the layout, like, how the house looked. And then at one point, like, once I went into the backyard and started showing him the slope, you kind of saw it, and then we cut off. Like,
on
we
the
stopped.
camera, it was really hard to tell.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's really hard to tell on the camera.
You told me it was a nice house.
Oh, yeah.
We got an offer on the house.
Anyways, and so we're like, let's put an offer on the house.
So the weird thing was, they tried to make an auction with this house. And they posted up for super cheap. I think it was like $550 or something. They wanted like a bunch of people to come to the open house and try to bid the house up, which no one ended up really doing. So this house was on the market for like a little while. It was like,
oh my goodness, yes, that's what I forgot to mention. This house, even before that, even when we started looking, we noticed that this house was on the market for quite some time, because like when you scroll down, it always shows how long the house has been on the market for.
Yeah.
And so we're like, we were wondering, we're like, why is nobody buying this house? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then
ended up the realtor that did it tried to make an auction on it, which didn't really work out in his favor. And we ended up picking up the house for the price they wanted, which was $575. But they did drop some, they did drop the price. I forgot on what, though.
I don't remember what it was on, though.
Yeah, I think they covered the fees for the real estate.
So when we bought this house, it pretty much came with all of the stuff we wanted. It has a lot of parking. It has trailer parking. Huge property. Well, not huge. It's half an acre. But that's like more than enough for us. Yeah. There's nobody living across the street from us. Pretty much our neighbor owns the property.
Yeah, it's a private road too.
Private road. There's a dead end. We're like further from the street. We could see the road, but the kids aren't like, they're not gonna, if they're gonna run out, we're gonna see them just in time.
And it's overall pretty quiet here. Really quiet here.
Really quiet location. We love it.
Most of all our neighbors are all retired.
Yes. They're elderly. It's like super, super nice. We never have like weird people driving through.
If you're young, you won't understand, but once you get older, you do.
This house also has 4 bedrooms. The only thing it did not have was the open floor plan, which, I mean, learn
Which
to
is
live
fine.
with.
I think when we do the remodel, we'll get rid of this whole fireplace
Mm-hmm.
and put it on just one side
Yeah, I
of the
think I
wall.
mentioned before that we have like this wall here, and it kind of separates the living area with like the family room and the kitchen. So I feel like that's like what we would work with, like get rid of this wall. But other than that, it like pretty much hit all of our check marks.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
I don't know. I feel like the once like I saw the house the first time, I knew that this was gonna be our house.
She got heart eyes.
Yeah, I got
No, you just want to get out of the apartment as soon as possible.
Well, honestly, with 2 little kids and a dog, there was no way for us to keep living in there. And it worked out because we had people that wanted to move in when we were moving out, which was really nice.
Yeah.
So.
Also, this place is more towards the country, which we were looking for. So I love it. And at the same time, we're not too far from like stores downtown.
Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention
everything nearby. You
What's
want
crazy?
buffalo? You got buffalo. You want freaking chicken nuggets? You got
Okay.
Chick-fil-A right there. You want freaking burgers? You got Burger King right there. Name it. You want mod pizza? It's right there.
Okay, so what's
you want freaking Target?
Can I say something?
Target is right there.
The crazy thing is that when we moved in, we didn't know that we had everything nearby. Like, we didn't know at all. We just knew that like the location was nice, like where the house was, the neighborhood, and that's it. And so when we moved in, I think it was like one of the first days we moved in, I needed to go to the store. And so I'm like, oh, let me see if there's a Target nearby. I type in Target and it says 4 minutes away. And I'm like, what? Like, how? Like, I live 4 minutes away from Target.
You want Fred
Costco?
Meyer?
We have Costco 7 minutes away from our house.
No, less. It's 2 miles away from our house.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's literally 2 miles.
Okay, I guess it's closer than 7 minutes.
Yeah,
but
it literally takes us 5 minutes to get to Costco.
We also have Fred Meyer close by, Walmart, like
everything.
Literally everything.
Oh, my tire popped on the GMC the other day, and we have Discount Tire right down the road.
It took us, first of all, fast to get there, and then the whole process took really fast.
Yeah.
We were able to pick it up like an hour later, and I don't know. I feel like just overall, everything with this house, we got so lucky, and I feel like we don't even realize how blessed we are because just everything, like the whole process of buying the house, we didn't have any problems.
Yeah, but what I say on the price of the house is if you're buying for yourself and like for your family, it doesn't really matter too much on the price as long as you can afford it. It's always a good time to buy for yourself. As long as it's for your family, like for yourself. If you're trying to make money on it, you won't. It's not a good time to buy.
You talking about like right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like hopefully this video is informative if you are trying to buy. I mean, it honestly depends like what you're going for, but I feel like the market has been crazy kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is
the interest rate is crazy. Like when we were buying, we got a 3% interest rate. It was like 2.9.
Well, the crazy thing is that when we were buying, like everyone was saying, oh, the market's gonna drop, it's gonna drop, it's gonna drop. It's been 5 years and the market hasn't dropped.
Yeah, and like right now it's not dropping, and the interest rate is going up still.
That's what's really hard.
Interest rate is like 6%, 7%, and like that is just nuts. Like we got really, really lucky.
We got so lucky. Like I cannot imagine like.
Good thing we bought
what we
bought. Even though it was hard to get to like buying it, but it was totally worth it. Like for me, I had to work like long haul, like a lot. There was 1 month where I did like 3 trips back to back without.
Like you didn't even come home.
Yeah, I didn't come home.
Yeah.
So
it was hard.
That wasn't fun, but it was totally worth it at the end.
I don't know. I just feel like everything worked out, and it's like I feel like we literally like saw God helping us every step of like the whole process from the very beginning to when we started looking for a house to like where we are right now. Because even the house process, I feel like there's literally people that spend months and months and months looking for a house.
Yeah, how long did it take us? I think it took us like a month and a half.
So we signed on our house on August 17th. 16th? August 17th or 16th.
But
I'm
overall, the whole process of since we looked at our first house to this house.
Do you remember when we started looking for our house?
I don't know. I know the first house took us probably like a week till we were fighting with owners. So we put a deposit on a house in Graham, which is literally like 5 minutes down the road from us.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't even know that until we realized that the house was close.
So anyways, we put a deposit on it and we got outbid on that one. And so we ended up like we went to a few more open houses and that's when we came along this house.
So I feel like every house that we looked at, there was something that we did not like in every single house.
I feel like you're right, but at the same time, like in this house, there's some stuff that we don't like about it.
I mean, obviously,
but
like
as life goes on, you can perfect it. Like, see, like this house, we want to remodel it, but we decided to wait till the kids get older.
So, go ahead, finish.
Because they literally beat up the whole house. Like, if you go like at every corner of the house, there's gonna be something wrong with it.
Well, not every corner, but
not every
like
corner,
Austin's obsessed with his cars and like I mean, right now he's not as obsessed, but like when we first moved in, he was a lot younger, and so like the what are they called? The windowsills, like the edges of the walls are like scratched up. Literally, like there's dents in like random places.
Scratched up. They're beat up, so he would slam his car from one side of the window to the other, and which would literally knock out the paint and all that other stuff. So he definitely put a beating to it.
Like, okay, so obviously, I feel like there's not a person, when they're looking for a house, there's not a person that does not want a brand new remodeled house, like with, with everything. Like,
yeah, well, see, the thing is about the newer houses, they're nice.
I totally forgot to mention, we looked at a house in a community,
a
brand new. I totally forgot.
But what we noticed is that they're cheaply built. They're so cheaply built that we're like, we'd rather get an older house that is built like really good with really good plumbing, really good roof, and all that other stuff. Like the inside doesn't matter as much as what was on the internally inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
So our house isn't too old. What year is
it? Was 2004. 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it was in that area.
Yeah, so it's
that range.
It's old, but okay, it's 20 years old, let's just say. But all the internals are made way more better when they're
honestly, this house is really sturdy. Yeah. Whenever we have wind, so we have trees like everywhere, like around our house, like. Yeah. Whenever there's wind, I never hear the house creaking ever. Yeah. Our house is so sturdy. Like that's what I've noticed. Okay, our power does go out pretty often, but
how often? Twice a year?
Well, I feel like this year it went out like
it only went out twice. Once.
No, twice.
It went out twice. Okay.
It went out twice, but the I don't know what that was.
It's fireworks.
It went out twice, but the first time it was like a short power outage. But anyways, we don't, even like upstairs when we're walking, we don't notice that our house creaks so much.
No.
You do hear people walking upstairs, but there's not places like in our floor where the floor like creaks and goes down. Yeah. I remember actually one of the houses we went to look at, me and my sister went to go look at it. He was also gone. So it was just me. And I think I FaceTimed you too, I'm not sure. The house...
Was the one on the Pioneer Avenue? Or which one?
Yes. Yeah. It was an old house.
Our house was really old.
I don't remember the year.
1970 something.
It was it was between 1950 and 1985.
Jeez, that is old.
It was so old, but they were like, it was remodeled, and everything. And so me and my sister are like walking up the stairs, and then we were walking into one of the rooms, and the floor is like sinking down. And I just felt like, even though it was super nice inside, I'm like, I don't feel like safe living in here just because of how old the house is. I feel like you could you're gonna have to look at the bigger picture, because I feel like later in life we would have to refix all of that, like, because it's such an old house. Like, I mean, the house would just keep getting older. So I feel like, I don't know, we got really lucky with this house. And so what advice would you give to somebody who's trying to buy right now?
So if you're trying to buy for yourself and
I feel like for anybody, for family, for whoever.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to buy for yourself, like, not for a business, if you're trying to buy for yourself and for your family, it's totally worth it as long as you know you can afford it. No matter what, no matter when time, like what time it is.
The market is always gonna be crazy though.
The
That's
market, yeah, it's a hit and miss type of deal. So
honestly, you'll get lucky. The market is crazy right now.
yeah, but if it's for your family, there's no like price you can put on it, so it's always worth to buy for your family.
Especially if you have a growing family, like you know.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is if you're trying to make it as a business, it's hard right now. It's not like the best thing to do, but you guys know better.
I mean, like, yeah, if you're like, yeah, I mean, if you're a realtor, if you're like, you know stuff, you know, buying houses and you know the market or whatever, then you know.
But you never know; it still might go up like crazy. So this might be a good time to buy. So
yeah, you never know.
That's the thing. Like, if it's for your family, it's a good time to buy, no matter what time it is. Even if the prices drop like crazy, or even if the interest rate drops, you can always refinance.
I feel like it could be a good time, and it can be a good time.
I'd rather lose $100,000 on this house right now versus me still living in apartments for the next 2 years. That's still gonna come out to the same thing what I would have been paying for this house versus apartments. So
that's true. Plus, we wouldn't even be able to live in an apartment. Like,
no, we wouldn't. Our dog is huge.
Like, our dog right now is really big, and so even like, first of all, like, even if it was to live outside, she would need to be let out. You know, we would need to go out every day just to take her on a walk, or
otherwise
not even
she
on a walk,
has this whole
the
property.
park. Otherwise, we let her out, and she runs around for like not even 30 minutes, and she's already tired. Like, especially if if we wear her out.
Yeah.
And it's just worth it. The kids have so much room.
The kids have plenty of room.
Honestly, I feel like if you're hesitating, not because of money, but because of other stuff, I feel like you shouldn't. You know, like if you're financially stable, like whatever, but you have doubts about other stuff about buying, I feel like you shouldn't. Like, and I feel like you should just trust like your gut and just go.
I'll tell you one thing.
I feel like you should just go for it.
God always takes care of his children, so that's something you should put in, not just consideration, put in your life. So.
Like, we didn't, honestly, actually, wait, no, I forgot, when we were starting the talk, I forgot to mention that we weren't planning on buying a house. We were not planning on buying a house for another year.
Yeah, we were just looking into it.
We were looking into it, but whenever we would think about a house or think about buying, like, we were talking and we're like, yeah, we would not be able to buy at least for another year. And then a few months later,
that's when I started working long haul real
I
hard
feel like
at that time.
You started working harder, and then we talked about it and we're like, actually no, like, we were able to buy a house right now, and it like literally like it worked out. Like, everything worked out better than we could have thought. Like, I don't know. The whole process was like awesome for us, and yeah, I feel like if you're hesitating, like, because of other things, not because of money, then I feel like you should just go for it and try at least. You never know. You can get so lucky with the house. I mean, we got lucky with everything that we wanted here. Most of it. Yeah. And the price.
Obviously, some things is like, oh, I wish I had that. I wish I had that. But
that's the thing, though. Like, when you buy a house, you might think that you like everything about it, but even when you own a house and you think that you like everything about it, there's still going to be something that you're not going to like.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, set your mindset high, but not too high, and don't be too picky, because things can always change. And just do right what's for your family and for you at the time. Like, even this wall, even though I hate it sometimes.
We do hate it, but honestly, it's like a good barrier kind of to like separate.
Yeah. Like, literally, the kids are sometimes out there watching a TV or something, and we just sit here on the couch and just,
it's like,
much quieter because of this wall. But at the same time, we're kind of like, oh, it would have been so much more nice if it would have been open, but it is what it is. But I think when we're going to be doing our remodel, if we can, we will get rid of this full wall.
We'll definitely like do, whole like video and like a process or whatever. I was gonna add, I feel like majority of like you guys that own a house right now, I'm sure there's so many things you guys don't like about it. Whether it's the yard or whatever, it's inside the house. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff you don't like.
We have half an acre. There's so much work.
Okay, so we have literally, since we moved in, we've lived in this house for a year and September, October, November, December, January. A year and 5 months, maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah. A year and 5 months, and we haven't did normal yard work.
Okay, we redid the front yard.
Okay, we did, but like
we cut down a few trees, like little ones.
Okay, that's true.
And then
we do get like grass treatment and stuff from like True Green and stuff.
But like the one thing that we really need to focus on is like do a retaining wall where the yard goes down. Just do a small retaining wall there and fill it in and get a fence.
It's gonna be easier if like you guys actually see it. So like one day we'll obviously show, but what's it called? I was gonna say there's just so much like yard, like with the big yard, like even though we really wanted a big yard, which is what we got, there's so much to do, like so much to like. We want to get rid of like trees. We want to potentially maybe even have like a little garden. Like we want to like maybe pave the gravel because we have gravel on both sides of our house. So we want to just pave it instead because the rocks get really annoying and
the rocks are so annoying.
Weeds start growing through the rocks, which is what we have.
The rocks get always onto the driveway. The driveway's always with rocks.
Yeah,
like if you're gonna wash it off, let's just say Saturday washed it off, Sunday there's gonna be rocks on there.
Yeah, I mean maybe not that soon, but you know. You get the idea.
You just give Austin one day with the rocks and island.
In the sun, like right now they don't play outside as much because it's winter time. But in the summer, they would take rocks from the gravel, put it onto the driveway, and it's just like a mess. Yeah. And weeds grow through the gravel, and so no matter how much I pulled so much weeds this like last summer, no matter how much weeds I pulled, like there's more like moss growing now, and just like I don't know. So we tried weed treatments and that didn't really work. Yeah. So that's why it'd be a
lot of money on weed treatments too.
Yeah.
We spent like almost $200 on different type of weed treatments and it didn't work. Yep. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah. So paved would be really nice to have like, you know, but we'll see. I mean, there's always
concreted.
Or concrete or
we were thinking to concrete like a lot of our property, that way we have way more parking and whatnot, but we'll see. Like we still want to chop down like quite a few trees and whatnot, but that's what I mean, like or that's what we mean, that like no matter what house you get, you're still gonna want to do something to it. It's just never ending work. If you think it's cheaper to live in a house versus apartments, you're completely wrong. You can live in downtown, like at a really nice area and spending like $3,000 on apartments versus you spending like almost $5,000 into a house like every month, because there's always
stuff to do to the house.
First of all, your mortgage. Second of all the stuff you do extra to the house is just like wintertime you don't really do much, but when it starts coming up to spring and summer, you do a lot to the house.
And I was gonna say, renting a house is a lot different than owning a house.
Yeah. Like, well, renting, you're still paying a base price, obviously. So.
Well, that's true. It depends on like the landlord you have, but like some people don't even let you do anything to the house, while others do if you're renting a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it honestly depends on your situation.
So. Overall, owning a house is very expensive. Like, there's just
hard work.
Never-ending stuff to do to it.
And that's like just the outside. Like
the inside of the house. Other thing is like it's kind of nice because I wanted a bonfire. I built a bonfire pit. What's it called? I wanted something done. I do it, but
you know that it's your own.
Yeah, but
and you can do it whatever you want.
But it is much more pricey than renting.
Obviously,
if you're trying to save money, and I don't know, who knows, maybe you just cash out on a house later on, then you can rent for now. That's totally cool. I get that. Why? You got a problem?
I'm just saying. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I guess just when you're buying, like
be ready to spend money.
Be ready to spend money, but make sure like you have like kind of like obviously people have like check marks of what they want in a house, but you know, have that and take your time on buying. just make sure you have like what you want in a house. Take
But
your
don't
time on buying.
Don't take too much time.
Don't take too much time. Like
Don't take a
2
full
years
year.
is way too long.
Take half a year.
Take less than a year.
Yeah.
Like less than a year.
Take half a year or less. Like if you're ready to buy, then you should be considering to buy the house within that half a year. If you're not ready to buy a house within half a year, don't be looking at houses.
That's true. And then just pray. And then literally God will take care of the rest. So.
And don't forget to work hard, because you'll need it.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. But I think that's it. I think that's all we wanted to say. So hopefully this video helped you.
Definitely helped me.
It kind of felt good to kind of like talk about this.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyways, that's it. So, see you next video, I guess.
Yeah, stay safe. Peace out, guys.